Hello everyone. It's so nice to see your beautiful faces here again today. As you know, my name is Folashade Ofurone. I'm the Executive Director of Health Education and Empowerment Initiative, Canada Incorporated. It's a beautiful time with you today. Today we will be talking on another episode of Ponder Health, and our topic for discussion is healthy diet. Let's enjoy ourselves. So, as you know, Wonder Earth was started last year in November by Eden Canada, and it's actually just a public health enlightenment program. It's based in the community, it's led by the community, it's based in the library. Its aim is to give culturally relevant and practical health knowledge to community members so that they can be healthier. And it has demonstrations, videos, talks, and a whole lot, which you'll be enjoying also today. So, we have the first question to ask you today. Why is healthy eating, why does it matter? And I would like you to think back. What was the first thing you ate today? Was it ice cream? Was it pizza? Was it bread? What did you first eat today? And this matters because whatever we eat gives us energy. Our aim for getting food is to get the nutrients and energy. And not just that, healthy diet also affects our mood. Yes, it does affect our mood. And ultimately, it affects our long-term health. That is why we are always encouraged to make healthy food choices all the time. So what did you first eat today? Was it a healthy food choice? We will be talking a little further on it. While we will not be going into deep, basic, let me say, nutrition because we feel you know that, but there's a video that kind of breaks down the types of nutrition that we get from the food that we eat. What is mindful eating? Mindful eating is when we take our food to be just more than what we are eating. When we consider it as a time for us to make healthy choices, get good habits, we take time to notice what we are eating when we are hungry or when we are full. Because there are people when they are hungry, they tend to make some certain choices in food, and there are people when they are full, they tend to make certain choices in food. Mindful healthy eating is being thoughtful about the whole program, the whole process of eating. So we are going to ask ourselves, how do I eat? Why do I eat? What am I eating? When am I eating? Where am I eating this food? And how much food am I eating? We are still going to delve further more on this. But these are the questions, 6 questions we need to ask ourselves. The WH questions. How, when, where, what, and how, and where, so that we can be able to make healthy food choices. As we go along, we see how to really look at these questions and come to a conclusion of the best healthy choices that we need to have. Choose. Mindful eating habit has a lot of benefits. First of all, it makes healthier choices become more often. We get into that pattern, that rhythm of choosing healthy food all the time. Secondly, it brings us positive changes to our eating behaviors because over time we begin able to see ourselves through the lens of another person to see, oh, how am I behaving around food? And we can begin to decide to make healthier choices. We also become conscious of what we are eating. We don't just eat for the sake of eating, we eat for the sake of being healthy. Like people say, if you take your food as your medicine, if you don't take your food as your medicine, you will take your medicine as your food. Meaning, if we do not eat our food with the mind to get healthy from it, we will end up having to take a lot of medications because we have affected our health negatively. Also, it creates a sense of awareness for us around every day our choices, so that when we are going into spaces, when we are in the kitchen trying to cook, we are at the restaurant, we are at the grocery stores, we keep making these healthy choices. And we have to reconnect our eating experience with our feelings, our mood, our emotions, our thought. What are the things that come to my mind when I want to eat? What moves me to eat certain things or not to eat certain things? How do I feel about this food that I am consuming? And then we begin to look at our behavior around food. Do we tend to eat more food just because it is available? Or do we tend to take choices? Oh, because everybody, we went to a gathering and everybody is going for the cake that has so much sugar icing, and we're like, yeah, I think I need to have some of that. Or do we always make conscious effort to take choices that are positive for ourselves? Now, how can we be mindful in our eating habits? We first need to create healthy eating environments. What do we mean? That means you have to make changes to our environment to be healthy. We cannot just say because I want to be healthy, you have to necessarily relocate from your country. But then, at your home, in your kitchen, what are the food stuff that you are buying? You can choose to start buying whole food, whole grain food, food that grows as plants, grows from the tree, so that the choices you are making, because when you have them at home, then you are able to make meals with them, you are able to consume them. That's one of the environment that you can work on. What kind of oils am I cooking with? Am I cooking with good oils, or am I using saturated fat all the time? That's another thing we need to consider in making our environment healthy. And one of it also is making sure that we do not have those junk food at home. Under the auspice of, yeah, I might get some guests over, I need to have a lot of soda at home, I need to have a lot of candy at home, and this and that, and then under that auspice, we have it at home. And then one day you're not feeling too well, you're like, yeah, I think I can need some sugar. Then you go grab those candy. One candy today, tomorrow two candy, and there you go down the rabbit hole of taking too much sugar. So that's one way of changing our environment or creating a healthy food environment. Another thing is we need to pay attention to our senses when we are eating. When I want to eat this food, what is the aroma? What is the flavor? What is the taste I am getting from this food? Do I like it? Do I dislike it? For instance, you want to buy a donut and there's a lot of sugar sprinkled directly on that donut. When you take a bite, you have to pay attention to the feeling you feel when you grind that sugar in your teeth. Like, do I really like this? Even though the sugar is tasty, most of us cannot resist sugar. But then, when you look at that first response you had to that sugar eating your mouth, when you take a bite of it, then you'll be like, oh, I don't think I'm going to like to do this. Lastly, you have to consider your eating habits. You think about the last meal you had, the last snack you had. How can you describe that food? And that takes us back to the thinking process that we undergo when we want to make healthy food choices. So, those questions: how you ate? Did you eat very fast or did you eat slowly? Like you were just gulping down the food, or you allow your teeth to do their job of chewing, because digestion starts from the mouth. So you have to chew your food properly before you swallow. Did you eat slowly? Were you distracted while eating that food? And did you eat it with others, or it was just by yourself? Then why did you eat in the first instance? Were you hungry? Or you were just eating because, yeah, somebody offered it to me? And, yeah, I can't say no. He's my friend. I don't want her to be offended. I don't want him to be offended. And then you just keep taking the meal that is offered to you. So that's one thing. Those are the questions you ask on that one. Now, what did you eat? What did you eat or drink? Did you eat food that is healthy? food that is made of whole food? Did you drink water? Did you go for sugary drinks like pop and what have you, energy drinks and all the you have to consider it. When we keep going through this process every day, it helps us to see what we are eating. It helps us to see like makes us like dissociate ourselves from the food environment that we are in and begin to make us think. Also, when did you eat? At what time did you eat your breakfast? Did you eat too early? Did you eat too late? Or did you skip the food breakfast all together? Breakfast is one of the most important meal of the day. It's a meal that you shouldn't miss because you slept overnight and now you have to fuel the body back. That's why it is called breakfast. While you were sleeping, you were not eating any meal. So you have to break that fast. And how long was the last time that you ate? Perhaps you took a breakfast around 9 a.m. and then somebody at the office is already offering you some sugar, pop, or some donuts. Hmm. Did you have enough time between what you ate last and these snacks that is being offered to you? So you have to consider to make sure that what you are eating, the time you are eating, there's enough time in between the meals for digestion to occur. Then where did you eat? Did you eat at the space where it was meant to be, where you should eat? I mean, at the dining table. Or did you just grab it on the go? Did you eat at the restaurant? Why are we asking this question? When you find that most of the meals you eat is in your car, you just went through the drive-thru and you just order this and that, grab it, the next you order this and that, you find that there is a pattern, a behavior that is being like exhibited, and you begin to see, oh, I think I need to make. There's something making me always want to go for the drive-through rather than for me to um, prepare my meals. So we have to consider where we are. Now, how much food did or drink did I eat? How much? Did I take such a large quantity of food that is so huge? Or I took in moderation? Am I the kind of person that eats until my tummy starts to hurt a little? Yeah, I remember when we are younger, we sometimes like to eat more because, yeah, the food was so delicious that our parents made. We want to have more than enough. Even right now, a lot of adults still do it. Or maybe you go to a party and the meal that was served there happens to be a meal that you don't eat often. And this is delicious. You're like, yeah, I'm here today. I'm going to make sure I get everything I need from this meal. So, how much did you eat? These are the thought process we have to consider when we are developing mindful, healthy eating. So, we're going to watch a video right now, and the video is titled Nutrition 101, the basics of eating a healthy, balanced diet by Elstott. Come along.
When it comes to living a healthy life, one of the most important factors is nutrition. The food we eat provides our bodies with the energy and nutrients needed to function properly, and good nutrition is essential for maintaining optimal health. In this video, we'll explore the basics of nutrition and how to eat a healthy, balanced diet. There are 6 essential nutrients that the body needs to function properly: carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, and water. Each of these nutrients serves a unique function in the body, and a balanced diet should include all of them in the right amounts. Carbohydrates are the body's main source of energy and can be found in foods like bread, pasta, rice, fruits, and vegetables. Proteins are essential for building and repairing tissues in the body and can be found in foods like meat, fish, poultry, eggs, beans, and nuts. Fats are also an important source of energy and help the body absorb certain vitamins. They are found in foods like nuts, seeds, avocado, oils, and fatty fish. Vitamins and minerals are necessary for various bodily functions, including the immune system, vision, bone health, and more. They can be found in a variety of foods, including fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and dairy products. Water is also essential for the body to function properly, and it's important to drink enough water to stay hydrated. In addition to understanding the essential nutrients, it's also important to understand portion sizes and moderation. Eating too much of any food, even healthy foods, can lead to weight gain and other health problems. It's important to eat a variety of foods in moderation to maintain a balanced diet. One easy way to control portion sizes is to use a smaller plate. This can help you eat less without feeling deprived. It's also important to pay attention to serving sizes on food labels and to avoid overeating in restaurants, where portion sizes are often much larger than necessary. Finally, it's important to understand the role of nutrition in disease prevention. Eating a healthy diet can help prevent chronic diseases such as heart disease, diabetes, and certain types of cancer. It's important to focus on eating whole, nutrient-dense foods and limiting processed foods, sugary drinks, and other unhealthy foods. One easy way to eat a healthy diet is to follow the plate method. This involves filling half of your plate with non-starchy vegetables, 1/4 with protein, and 1/4 with carbohydrates. This method ensures that you're getting a variety of nutrients and helps to control portion sizes. In conclusion, good nutrition is essential for maintaining optimal health. By understanding the basics of nutrition, including the essential nutrients, portion sizes in moderation, and disease prevention, you can make informed choices about the food you eat and live a healthier, happier life. Remember to focus on eating a variety of whole, nutrient-dense foods and to drink plenty of water to stay hydrated.
So I hope you enjoyed that video, and we definitely saw those classification of food: carbohydrate, protein, fat and oil, protein, fiber, water. I have some of our food samples here. We have banana, we have some eggs. These are protein, classified as protein. Eggs, meat, fish, beans, peas, tofu, milk, they all fall in the same category. This is fruits, right? We have apple, and this is grapefruit. This is apple. We have fig. We have carrot. We have lime. We have lemon. These are all whole foods because these food are natural. It's either an animal produce it or a plant produce it. But in the contrary, we have these guys. We know pizza, right? Yeah, pizza. It's example of processed food because the flour that was used to make the dough has been refined from grains, right? And it's gone through a lot of process where the fiber is taken out, the nutrition is out. But then we have some few things put on it like pepperoni, cheese, and what have you to make us feel like, yeah, this is a good meal. But then this is one of the processed meals. This is a piece of cake, right? Yeah. It's a processed meal. It's a snack. And we all like to have some very yummy ice creams, some popsicles. These are sugary drinks. We have a lot of it around. So now that we've seen that these options, in this first plate that I have here, these are the options, symbolizing the options of all food, the healthy food that we need to eat. So we are going to talk about how to portion the healthy food. And this second plate I have here represents the unhealthy food that we do eat, but we have to make sure we limit them. They include energy drinks and stuff like that. So that takes us to the healthy plate that was mentioned in that video. The healthy plate is basically, this is an image of it. We have half of the plate has all fruits and vegetables that we want to eat, whatever we want, spinach, broccoli, apple, carrot, pineapple, they all fall on that category of half of your plate. And the other half on the right hand side are the proteins. You have egg, cheese, um, tofu, peas, beans, they all fall. Milk, they fall on that quarter. The other quarter is the whole food, which is the whole grain, such as brown rice, whole wheat, cereal, pasta, they fall there. And I have an image here of how to divide your plate. Right on your table, everybody has a plate. So I want you to grab one plate and try to make this the way I made mine, or from the screen. So your number one are those vegetables, fruits and vegetables. They must be the largest portion of your food. Number two are the proteins: fish, egg, meat, milk, name it, a quarter. Number three are your whole grains: your rice, your pasta, your bread, what have you, they all belong to this portion. And do not forget that when we are eating, our food is not complete without a cup of water. We have to drink water. I know there's a lot of argument on here. You need to drink your water after you finish eating, or during when you are eating, or before you eat. I don't want to go into those stories. But then we do know that we need to drink a cup of water when we are eating. I personally, I drink it beginning, middle, and end. Like, I just drink when I feel like, when I want to drink water. So make sure you drink water. That's not the time to take a bottle of soda and say you want to wash it down. No, you have to drink water first. Or when you are done with drinking water with the food, then you can begin to take other things like your cup of coffee, your cup of tea, your juice if you want it. But remember, your juice, if it's bought from the store, is not necessarily a whole food because it's processed. They already will often add sugar, some colorings, and other chemicals into it. We need to eat healthy. I know when we look at the portion of the vegetables that are here, it looks so large. So I want us to do a little exercise. If you look at your table, we have some vegetables right there. I want you to try to make a meal for yourself, looking at your plate, and put some vegetables here, some protein here, and some whole grain food here in your plate, and then look at it and look at the board and see if you got your arrangements right. Okay? Now, while we are doing that, I want us to think about some of the challenges that we do face when we are trying to make healthy diet. One of them is taking too much processed food. Our friends here, right? Our friends in this plate. They are the processed food that we shouldn't be eating much of. They are delicious, they are treats that we can have once in a while, but they shouldn't be our meal all the time. Another thing is taking sugary drinks under the auspice of having too much energy drink. I want to boost my energy. You take some pop, it's on sale, you grab a lot of bottles, too much of it. We have that tendency to consume it, especially when we are down. Skipping meal is another thing a lot of people do when they, whatever reason, are not feeling good or whatever, they skip meals. They don't eat their food. It's another problem because just this trend that is going on now that you must really be thin. Yeah, I know it's 16 years old right now that is in that phase. She's always eating so little. She's really so skinny. I'm really wondering if she's not underweight, right? But then there must be balance in everything. And lastly, low vegetable intake Yeah, the vegetables are not delicious. They don't look nice. The carrot is whatever. I don't want to eat some bananas. I get you. But remember that they are very important. They provide a lot of nutrition for our system. So we have to consume them. I remember I have a friend, when we were growing up, he's fond of always saying, I don't want, why would I eat vegetables? I'm not a goat. I'm not a goat. He believes that it's animals that eat vegetables. So he doesn't take anything that is vegetable. Guess what? Right now, he is eating more than enough vegetables. Why? He's having a lot of health issues, and they've told him, yeah, you need to consume vegetables. Now he's eating so many salads. I think the ones he has missed years back, he's trying to catch up. So we don't want to be like him. That now we have to look at, yeah, we can say healthy food is expensive, price of groceries has gone up, plus you're an immigrant here, the foodstuffs you like to eat are not here. For example, like me, black eyed beans, the red one is not here. You have to brown, I mean, you have to import it, stuff like that. It takes a lot of cost to import, and or you go to an African store, the cost is high, or you go to an Asian store, it's expensive. I get it. But how do we want to make sure that our food is affordable, or we are eating healthy with whatever resources we have available? One of the first trick is buying seasonal food. When you go to the store and find that tomatoes is a lot in the season, peppers are a lot in the season, there's a lot of oranges around, that's the time for you to buy because they are cheaper. You buy and you store them. Oh yeah, they go bad, right? You can juice your oranges, you can juice your pineapples and make them into, those plastics we use for ice cubes. Yeah, you can store them in that, or simply just put them into Ziplocs and you get them frozen. You label them and they are good to go. You can use them when the fruits are not in season or when they are expensive. So that's one way. Another thing is buying frozen fruits and vegetables. I know when you want to buy one bulb of pineapple, it's like $500, $600. And you're like, oh, just one pineapple. And I might even cut it, it might not really be so delicious, or it might be spoiled to some extent. That's why the frozen fruits and vegetables come in. If you go to the frozen section, there are frozen fruits and vegetables that you can buy. One thing is, they are not spoiled when they were packed. So you buy them, they are cheaper. You can blend them, make them into smoothies, make them into juice for drinking. That's one thing. And you need to plan your meals. Most of us are guilty of this. We grew up in families where we don't have a meal plan. Just what are we going to eat this morning? What are we eating today? That's the way we go. It ends up making us eat one thing over and over and over and over again. I know someone that can eat rice 3 times a day because they love rice. But then they are going to be deficient in other classes of food. So that's why we have meal planning. When we plan our meals, we are able to come up with a consistent portion for each of those things. And when we plan our meals, it helps us to buy food, the seasonal food or frozen fruit and vegetables that are suitable to the meal that we have planned. We should not also forget that we need to cook at home. Yeah, we need to cook at home. Cooking at home helps us to know what we are putting into whatever we are making. We know the exact nutrition we have put into it. We know the quality of what we have put into it. And it's cheaper, it's healthier. Because the oils you're going to use, you're going to make use of good oils that do not, that are not saturated fat or rancid or whatever. You are very sure, and you make sure that the food is fresh. That's one thing. And cooking at home, you can also prep your meals. You can prep them. You can have things prepared before, freeze them, wrap them to go or put them in the fridge so that you are able to eat healthy. So, the next exercise here is, can you create a sample of a 1 day meal plan for a day? What do you think that would be? Yeah, we can have bread. What goes with the bread? Fried eggs. But in that egg, what can we put? Yeah, vegetables. What kind of vegetables? Bell peppers, carrots, cabbage, so that we can make that plate full. And we can also add what? Sardines, tuna fish. Thank you so much for your insight. That way, we know that the portion of that egg has a lot of vegetables with it. Plus, when we are eating, we can have some avocado, right? Fantastic. And water. That can be for breakfast. So, what do you think we can have for lunch? Okay. You want to go the African way, right? Good. We can have one of the swallows. We have semolina, we have wheat swallow, we have pounded yam, we have so many of them. And then we pair it with what? You're right, a vegetable soup. A lot of vegetable, and make sure you have a lot of meat there and fish. Remember, this is it. A lot of us are guilty. Our pounded yam is usually as big as this or even more, like a 3/4 of the plate. Nope, nope. It's gonna be just a third, like a quarter of the plate. So that the vegetable soup is half of the plate. And then our meat, our fish, and what have you comes here. So, what can we have for dinner? Yeah, we can have fried rice. Fried rice has a lot of vegetables in it. Plus, we can make salad or coleslaw with it, right? Fantastic. That's a very nice way to plan our meals. And make sure to put our protein, right? Remember, this is our plate. Check your table, your plate. You have to put the rice should not be more than this. And the vegetables. We know we already have some vegetables in our salad, in our fried rice. But then we are going to have salad or coleslaw that will give us more vegetables and meat or fish here. Healthy snacks ideas. They are very common. We have nuts, groundnuts, cashew nuts, so many. And one very simple one is popcorn. You can make a popcorn in the morning at home. There is a lot of popcorn at the store too, because popcorn is really cheap and healthy. I'm not talking about those ones that are coated with so much caramel and so much sugar. No, no, I'm talking about the basic one that has just small sugar or a little bit of salt. It's very healthy. Plus, popcorn helps you in digestion. I found it. Yes. Because it has a lot of fiber. Now, simple meal prep tips. What are some tips? You need to get some containers that you can lock, right? And then prep your meals. When you make your simple meal, healthy meal plan for the day or for the week, then you make the portion. So instead of making a meal for it to eat at once, that's another way to do it. If you want to make, maybe for example, you want to make fried rice for the family, instead of making a portion that you guys are going to eat at once, you can make two. Then immediately it's done, you portion out the one that is remaining, you portion it into the different plastics, put the meat, the salad by the side, the meat, everything, and put it in the fridge. So what you just need to do is to warm it up and have a meal to eat. This is my favorite section. You all know that, which is meat butchering. One of the myths is, raw food is better than cooked food. A lot of people are beginning, some people, let let me say, are going into that trend of saying, do not cook your meals, just take them raw, only meals that goes raw. I understand that when you cook some meal, you might lose some of the micronutrients, especially vitamin C that gets destroyed easily. That's part of the reason. For example, if you want to prepare your vegetables like spinach or whatever, you wash it before you cut it. Because if you notice that when you cut your spinach and you rinse it out, you see the water turns green. Yeah, it's not just spinach, all vegetables. When you wash them after you've cut them, you lose some of the nutrients. So cooking definitely for some veggies from plants, for some food items, it does lose. But we should not forget that there are some meals that do not become available biologically until they are cooked. So there is nothing like raw food is better than cooked food. The second one is grain products such as bread, pasta, rice makes you fat. No, it does not necessarily make you fat. Why are we saying this? Grain in themselves are complete because they have proteins, they have carbohydrates, they have a little bit of oil, they have fiber in them. So, but then um, when these grains are ultra processed, they are stripped off of their fiber, they are stripped off of some of the germ, which is the inner part of it. Like when you see maize and you take out that little soft, small yellow part in it, whitish part in the middle, that's the germ, that's the protein core. They often take it out in the process of making flour, and that loses the protein, the natural protein that comes with that. So, but then if you eat bread or pasta made of all grains, all wheat, substituting it with those all grain products, then the bread is healthier. That's why when you want to buy products, make sure that you read the labels. Often, one way to know how healthy your food is, if you, for example, you want to buy an orange juice and you look at the box and you find that the first thing written there is sugar, glucose, or whatever coloring. What is telling you there that the item that is the largest quantity in that orange juice is actually the sugar, not the orange juice itself. So in the order of the way it is written, the items in the ingredient list is written, that's what helps you to know the quantity of what you have. For instance, the other day I was checking to buy margarine, and I looked. Margarine is supposed to come from milk, right? But then I'm seeing saturated canola oil, soybean oil, and I'm like, am I buying oil or am I buying margarine? So we need to learn to look at our uh, labels, the ingredients. Lastly, people say that when you eat food that is gluten free, it's a lot healthier than food that is non gluten free. That's a myth because gluten free food is not healthier. Gluten free food is only healthier for people who have celiac disease or sensitive gut system. And celiac disease is actually a disease and also an immune disorder where the individual has damaged small intestines. So it gets worse when they eat food that has gluten in it. It damages their intestine. So those people who have that problem of digestion, they are the ones that are supposed to eat gluten-free food, not the average person. So that myth has been busted. That brings us to another nice activity that I love to do, which is the quadrant, where we have 4 boxes that helps you to reflect. What is one thing that I have already known before or I believe in today? What's the one feeling I'm having? What question do I have in my mind? You can write that here in this section. Everybody has their own paper on their table with their pens, so please feel free to feeling accordingly. And I hope you might have been feeling it from beginning also. And then relearn what's the new thing I've learned today. For example, maybe I learned that, oh, I don't necessarily have to go for gluten-free food if I don't have celiac disease or I don't have gut issues. Okay, what is one myth or misunderstanding that has been clarified? And that is the myth I just mentioned. So, what new insight do I have? Oh, I've learned that I should buy frozen fruits instead of waiting only to buy the old food when I don't have the money to buy old food. I can still go for frozen fruits and still be able to get the nutrition I need. Now, what is one small thing I can do to change? One small thing I can do to change is maybe basically I will stop buying soda and putting it at home so that I don't get tend to drink it more than necessary. And what is one conversation I can have? I can begin to talk to my children and say, guys, we need to stop candy in this house. We are not buying candy in the house any longer. Or no more popsicle sticks. Those are the kind of stuff that we need to talk about. Or then what is one thing that makes me feel strong? One thing that makes me feel strong is I know this is something I can do. We've all created a simple meal plan, right? We've discussed how to do it. It's something we can do. One support or affirmation I choose. One support or affirmation I choose is I want to believe that I can be helped. I can do it. That's one thing. So I'll give you like a minute or two to look through your paper and fill it up. Okay, great. So we are in the last part of the section, which is our next Wonder Earth program is April 9th. So we need to choose the next month's topic. Do any one of us have a topic you'd like us to talk about? Something you have wanted to talk about?
I want
Yes.
to talk about work life balance for our next topic.
Okay, thank you. So our next topic is work-life balance. It's very important because all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. We don't want to be dull. So we need to be able to balance our work-life balance. That's our topic for next month. Questions?
I have no questions.
Okay. What about you? Okay, good. We'll talk after, right? Thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. I really enjoyed it, and I hope you do too. I could see in your faces, especially when you see these beautiful snacks and fruits and vegetables and my pack of eggs that I brought here. Okay, guys. See you all next month, April 9th. Bye.